So my name is Salim Dabous, and I am producer, QA, and I also do a bit of design on GNOG. So GNOG is a puzzle adventure game set inside and around these giant monster heads. And each head contains like a world inside of it, but also a bunch of puzzles and secrets. And as you play, you unlock more heads, and connections between those heads reveal themselves. Yeah, so originally when I first met Sam, who's an artist and designer on the project, he was pitching the game as a 2D puzzle platformer, and that started this like forest that you'd walk through, where you'd find these monster heads inside. And I was really in love with his work. Like, his art is beautiful, and I was thinking, well, okay, that's cool, but what if we just dropped the puzzle platformer part and just kept the giant monster heads? And from there, he started prototyping it in 3D when he started thinking about, like, he wanted to have like an interior for each of the heads. And so we prototyped it and realized, like, whoa, this is going to be really cool. Like, it just exponentially increased the possibilities of design for the game. And from there, we ended up showing it at a bunch of like venues. Like we did an Indie Mega Booth at GDC, at the Venus Patrol Horizon Conference, and a bunch of other places. But it wasn't really until we started prototyping the game on controller for PlayStation where it started to like really come together. Because when we were starting the controller version, it was, no one wants to like control a mouse cursor on a joystick, so we had to rethink how that works, and that made us focus a lot on the feel of the game. And that kind of just, when we focused on game feel, it revealed a whole new element of design to the project that we had never really considered, and that ended up like really heavily influencing both the visuals and also the design of the actual monster heads. Yeah, so the game in VR on Morpheus is really cool because it really takes the inspiration of like that element of having a bunch of toys that you're playing with to the next level for us, because you put on the headset and you have these giant heads all around you that you're looking around, and it kind of feels like you almost have this like this void of toys, like this shelf of toys where you can kind of look at each piece and you move the distance between them, and it makes them feel a lot more physical in a way that doesn't come across without VR. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, we haven't settled yet on if we're going to do VR support for other platforms, but it's definitely something we'd like to consider. Yeah, I think for us it would be awesome to do PlayStation Move, but we aren't really sure what the Morpheus is going to ship with quite yet, and we want to make sure that as many people as possible can play the game. And we know for sure everyone's going to have a PS4 controller, so that's kind of what we're settling for right now. But the possibilities with a Move would be really, really awesome. Yeah, so actually one of the things that Morpheus revealed to us was the element of like switching heads rapidly. So in Morpheus you have the monsters all around you, and if you focus on one, it becomes the one that's active. But we didn't have a way to do that in the non-VR version. So we redesigned the way, like before you had to unlock a head in a level before you could interact with it, and now they're all unlocked freely from the start, and you can just cycle between them at will, which is really nice, because if you get stuck at one head, you can just switch back to another and play that puzzle and kind of figure it out and come back to it. And I think that helps, like, just, keeps it from getting too frustrating, and also just keeps things always fresh. Has been the main design change that we've had to make that was informed by VR, and I think it's like a much better design, and we should have done it from the start. Yeah, so we really want to start showing it running on Morpheus now that we're starting to get it like looking good and playing well in VR. And I think it depends on what events we end up going to, but we're looking at December, January is when we're going to start showing and revealing like how it works properly in the Morpheus. So the game is planning to come out early next year in spring.